listening. You're watching and listening.
Now,
What?
Now you start. Now you start. Start now. Start now.
Can I start now? Can I start now? Can I start now?
2, 1, go.
Do we start now? Do we start?
Yes.
Do we start already? No, okay. This is episode 162 of the DualShockers ShockCast, and this is our first live episode. And as you can see, we're off to a great start, just hitting the ground running.
Yep.
This evening, I am joined by Joel Tavares, one of our co-founders.
What's going on, everybody?
Tony Polanco.
What's going on, people?
Ryan Meitzler.
I'm watching you. Hello.
And George's beard trimmer, really. Oh, my God. And George Jimenez.
I'm watching you, watching me, watching you. Shit's gonna get weird.
Yes, we have a lot to talk about, and we're so good at this that we totally forgot who's doing the new releases. We totally forgot about that, guys.
Yeah, we didn't even think about that.
Nose goes.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Who's handling this shit? This is how organized we are.
Yeah, we're extremely organized. All right, I'll do the new releases.
Yeah, you do that shit.
Myself. Today is the 18th. All right, so for the week of February 16th to the 23rd, you've got Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare for the Xbox 360 and Xbox One. Oh, shit, you can see that. Good Lord. Tomba 2, The Evil Swine Return, PS1 Classic for PlayStation 3 Network. Earth Defense Force 2025 for PS3, 360, and PSN. Strider for PS4, PS3, and Xbox One. Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry Standalone for PSN, PS4, PC. Banished for the PC. Forest Legends for the PlayStation Network. Mr. Driller for the PS1 Classic. Neo Contra as a PS2 Classic for PlayStation Network. Rayman Legends for the PS4, 99 Levels to Hell for Steam, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Wii U, and Go Nippon, My First Trip to Japan on Steam for the PC.
I don't even know what that last title was about.
I was surprised. That's why I paused. I'm like, what am I reading right now?
I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right, so what do you guys pick?
Go Nippon, man. That's the shit right there. I'm gonna go with Strider for obvious reasons.
Of course.
This Strider, dude, is fucking awesome. That's my pick.
I'm gonna go with Titanfall Beta.
I suppose that's your prerogative, yes.
Right? Okay.
My prerogative.
George, you're gonna say the same thing, I bet, right?
I'm gonna go with the Titanfall beta.
Of course you are.
I played with Joel, because Joel's really bad. So
I am.
I heard. You were shouldering the whole team.
No, wait. No. First of all, George is a murderer. It's not that I'm bad, it's that he's a mass murderer.
It's just that I get all the kills, that there's just nothing for anyone else.
All your kills belong to George.
Oh my God. Ryan, what do you pick?
I'm going to pick an actual game, and I'll go with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Oh, shots fired.
I played the demo at the Nintendo World a couple weeks ago, and it was really fun, so I will go with that.
Very nice, very nice.
Suck it, Titanfall.
Yeah, Titanfall ain't shit. I didn't get a beta code. I don't care, you know. I'm gonna go with Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. I also played that personally, and that is also a game that's a lot of fun. All right, so we're gonna get right into it. First thing we're gonna talk about, since we kind of mentioned it already, George and Joel, you guys both had a chance to play the Titanfall beta. So why don't you give us your thoughts on that?
George, you want to open it up, or you want me to get things going? It's up to you.
Joel, let's go with the weak link, Joel.
Oh, shit.
I'd like to hear Joel's perspective from someone who just didn't dominate. I want to know what it was like for him.
Well, now here's the surprising thing about me not being able to dominate. The thing about Titanfall, the funny thing about Titanfall is that what Respawn has actually done is that they found a very hard. They accomplished something that's not very easy nowadays, and that's making the barrier of entry rather low, and creating something that I would say weekend warriors, people that don't have a lot of time to invest in those kinds of shooters, can actually just pick up and enjoy. So and this is coming from someone who's spent, I've put a lot of time into Battlefield on the PS4. and other shooters as well. And a lot of those games, it's like if you're not consistently playing them, you can't just pick it up again because then you just get mowed down by the people that have been playing and have been practicing. So it's kind of hard when you have like a job and shit, right? To be able to jump back into games after spending X amount of time away from the certain title. So Titanfall definitely looks like one of those titles that will be easy to pick up and put down, and I think that's going to be a lot of the appeal behind it. That's what I got from the beta. In terms of system seller, I guess. Well, let George talk about it because I just want to touch base on that. if this is going to sell.
Okay.
You don't seem convinced though, Joel.
Xboxes.
I think the opposite. I think that this is I think if you have an Xbox One, this was the game you were waiting for.
I don't know.
Yeah, see it.
Like I said, you weren't really that good at it, but from what I was playing, I will agree.
If you have an Xbox One, this is the game you're waiting for.
Yeah, this is the game for you. This is the kind of game you've been kind of waiting around for. But I will agree with Joel that the barrier for entry for this game is super low, and there's so many interesting new mechanics that you're just not familiar with. That's the whole idea. I fell in love with just the traversal element of the game, where I've gone matches without even jumping inside a fucking Titan, just because you're just kind of zipping around from rooftop to rooftop with your little jetpacks, and you're just always on top of someone or catching someone from behind or just jumping out of a window and then through a window and then just downstairs, and then before you know it, you're on the third floor or something. It's pretty neat.
That's not really a good thing.
No.
It's not so reliant on the Titans. Yeah.
No, it's not. I was not expecting that. I was expecting, it's always just like, all right, I need to get this fucking Titan, and the Titan dominates. It's really dependent on, one single Titan can't just charge into an area because you get swarmed like rats coming all over you because you can.
It turns into Titan shower rape.
Yeah. It's right. So you'll notice that like a lot of times anyone in a Titan is always kind of keeping their distance and just doing kind of long range artillery. And if you get a Titan out in the open field and you're on foot, you do not stand a chance. But as soon as you lure a Titan in between buildings where you're just kind of hop over them, they're just done. And yeah, and you get there's a good Call of Duty vibe to it. Like when you're playing it, you do get that sense of like, oh yeah, guys who made Modern Warfare made this game, and you get that almost immediately as soon as you start picking your loadout and your classes and then going into perks. They managed to really hit that kind of carrot on the stick gameplay where it's like, hey, you like using that gun? If you get 20 more kills, you get to unlock some sort of scope or something. I'm like, all right. I guess I'll get 20 more kills. But yeah, like I said, it's super early in the beta. It could still easily be like a Battlefield where if you're not playing for 2 weeks, you're so far behind that everyone's ranked up by you. But it seems with what they call the burn cards, which is these like one-time use things. So if you're just doing really bad, you use a burn card, and all of a sudden here's a super rifle that should last you a life. So if you're really falling behind, you just use some of your burn cards. It's like, oh, do you need extra health? There's a burn card for that. You want a Titan in 1 minute? Here you go. There's a burn card for that. So yeah, the beta when I had it was super fun, but like I said, it's too early to tell just because everyone's so like, ooh, shiny robots and shit blowing up.
They're just snapping to it, yeah.
Yeah, you're just having a lot of fun to it. But if you just want to I'm kind of curious to see what it's going to be like to sit back for a full week with it, or just give me 2 weeks with Titanfall, and then yeah, I can tell you whether it's gonna have any staying power at all. Because yeah, it's going to be insane for first 2 weeks, maybe in the first month of a million people on it. But you got to see where that kind of drop-off point where it is, because you want to get a game like you want a Halo or a Gears where yeah, people are always going to be playing it. There's something that kind of always pulls you back, and that's more of like a balance, good map selection. So yeah, but so far I'm digging Titanfall. I think the beta was good for 2 reasons. One was it's a beta, so whatever. But
did you feel like you were playing a beta? Like both of you?
It seemed pretty polished.
Yeah, it felt pretty polished. I think this is more just testing out server architecture and just like, let's try to get as many people on this at once. But I also think it's just to alleviate some doubt as far as people who are just kind of iffy about Titanfall. So I don't think they would have released that beta if they weren't like 100%, if it wasn't 100% playable. Like it seems like all the kinks are already worked out, and this was just like, to me, this was not a beta. This was just a fancy demo of the game. Just to get people up and talking, because yeah, everyone's talking. Everyone I've spoken to who's played the beta is kind of like, yeah, I was surprised. I'm digging it. So good job, Respawn.
But one of the things that I liked also about the way the gameplay plays out. Well, first of all, really quick, if anyone now I figured it out. So when I first played a couple matches, I was like, okay, I think I just had a seizure for 10 minutes. But
that is true. Yeah, you're very
blink. You're like very frantic. You're like, what the hell's going on?
There's missiles and robots, and then that guy's on a roof, and oh shit, he's not on a roof, and people can turn invisible. One of your first moves. your first special move is cloak.
It's cloak.
Yeah, you just go right invisible. And I'm like, this is fucking insane. And what kept freaking me out is everyone kept using that because all the pilot classes, meaning the little soldier guys, you get your own abilities and your own perks. The Titans also have your own abilities and your own perks. So you can pick a Titan loadout and then think Call of Duty. So one of the perks is the nuclear ejection, which I completely fell in love, where if your Titan's down, you can eject and then you detonate your nuclear reactor. So you just kind of see these little white lights that come out of nowhere and then literally just nuclear mushroom cloud. So if you get a bunch of people doing that at once, it's literally just, you're going to go blind at some point.
Jesus.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. The best way to describe any match pretty much is think of the last 15 minutes of any Transformers movie. That's Titanfall.
Oh, no, stop. I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
It's exhausting. Titanfall is exhausting. Like, it's so exhausting that they give you like almost 2 minutes of just rest time in between matches.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy because like when things get like really frantic, if you're still on foot or whatever, if you're waiting for your, maybe your first Titan got blown up, and it's like deep into a match and there's a bunch of Titans on the map, like you'll be indoors, you're trying to leave and go out into the street. And that I forgot the name of that one map where it's like it's like a city area.
Angel City, probably.
Angel City, yeah. So you're in Angel City and you're like in the building and you're trying to leave. You walk out the front door and there's like 4 Titans going at it in the middle of the street. You're like, oh no, fuck this. I'm not going out that way. So it's pretty intense. Is it going to be that system seller? I don't know.
I think so. I mean, I'm just going to be curious, considering that the game's going to have no single player. This is going to be a pure multiplayer game, so...
$60 for multiplayer, though? That's the price, that's the thing that I'm finding, like, that's like a hard pill to swallow.
Did you guys hear it's actually going to be a campaign, though, of sorts, within the multiplayer?
It's like a shared campaign thing, right?
Something like that.
The story's going to be told in, like, snippets pre- and post-match, so I think every map is going to have its own kind of, like, self-contained story. Because the game also has NPC units, so as you're playing, you feel like you're part of a larger battle that's going on. Particularly if you play the one match, was it Fracture, the one with all the oil things? You'll see a bunch of spaceships overhead, and like Titanfall's a really pretty game when you're not just like running around and just like having a seizure. If you like take a moment and like look up at the sky, it's a very busy skybox, and just stuff going on in the background is just like, oh, that's neat. And I like the additions of like the NPC, just kind of throwaway soldiers that you can kill for points and farm. Like, I did a match where one person said, like, listen, I suck, what should I do? And one person said, just kill the fucking grunts and get out of the way. And I'm like, oh, okay.
There's always that guy. There's always that one guy.
Yeah, that was me, actually, yelling at the guy. I haven't used my headset in my Xbox One for so long that I was just like, oh, right, I have a headset for this stupid thing. And I'm there, I'm just like, trying to have conversations with people, and you just start getting into it.
You're barking orders at people.
Well, you always get that one guy who's just kind of like, oh, it's my first time playing, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, you motherfucker.
Like, you were that guy once, George.
No, but
never.
Like, you have a gun in your hand. You have to draw a map for them. I mean, come on.
Yeah, right. Shoot the red guys or the blue guys. That's it. Like, fuck.
Actually, I have a question. Do you notice you're playing within, like, when you're in the heat of a battle and you're running across rooftops and jumping off walls and then you're getting in Titans, are the NPCs like noticeable, or does it all kind of blend together in the heat of battle?
I think on the mini map you could tell what's an NPC,
on the minimap
a person.
Yeah, the mini map, the NPCs are small little dots. Player units are big red circles. In the field of battle, say like outside looking in, it looks like a really nice battlefield. But when you're actually fighting, you can tell who's an NPC and who's a pilot, just because the NPCs look different, and they also just kind of stand there and wait to be shot. So they are.
Those NPCs.
Yeah, so they do. I noticed
the power of the cloud, guys.
Yeah, the power of the cloud. But I do notice that halfway through the match, the NPCs sort of upgrade to like robots with rocket launchers. So if you're in a Titan, every once in a while you start getting hit by someone. You're like, who the fuck is shooting? It's like, oh, is that little tiny asshole? And you just kind of step on them, like.
Yeah, I heard about that. Like somebody jumped at a Titan, like a human jumped at a Titan, and the Titan just fucking punched them into like a pail of ore. That's hilarious.
You can rip pilots out of the Titans right before they blow up, because the Titans have a doomsday, almost like in Gears of War, like when you're down but not out.
Yeah.
So in this one you have a doom state. So when your shields are gone and your health is gone, you kind of have an extra 5 to 10 seconds of life where you can decide to say, fuck it, I'm just going to eject, or you can just sort of keep fighting. So what some people do, if you have that like nuclear reactor bomb thing, you just kind of get as close to other Titans as possible, then eject. But if a guy's smart enough and melees you right when you're ejecting, you literally grab the guy from thin air, you look at him, and you fucking chuck him across the map.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, or the best is if you see people jumping around, you can literally just throw a punch, and you'll connect, and they'll just pop, and just little explosion of blood and guts, and you just sit there like.
It's a rain of gore.
It is a rain of gore. Like I've been accidentally stepped on all the times. Well, not accidentally, but because they were bad guys. But you try to get like a good spot on, then he's not there, and then he can boost, and like Titans can boost, and it's like, why are they moving so goddamn fast? They're robots, and it's good though, but it's hectic and it's exhausting. Like me and Joe we're just like, man, we must be old. That must be the issue.
No, it's crazy.
Can't hang with them kids, man.
It's a frantic experience, and I mean, I think the people that are gonna, I think you're gonna have two very distinct camps. You're gonna love Titanfall, or you're just gonna buy Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It's just you're just gonna buy like those military shooters, but Titanfall.
Hold on, is it different enough from Call of Duty that Call of Duty fans won't actually like to play this game? Is it that much of a divide?
That's my concern. I'm wondering if those fans, like, I think a lot of those military shooter fans get thrown off by like futuristic stuff, and and that's why I'm saying I don't know if it's gonna grab that audience, but. Again, Respawn's not stupid. The PR behind it, EA is not stupid, and they're definitely not. They're embracing the idea that these guys came from, Infinity Ward, that came from Activision. You never hear them say like, "Oh, don't mention that." Don't mention Call of Duty. Don't mention their previous work. They want people to know that. They want people to know who Respawn is and the fabric that this game is made with.
Yeah, and I think people will be into, I think if you're a hardcore Call of Duty fan, you kind of want to see where, there's a Call of Duty pedigree here. So it's like, hey, Modern Warfare 2 was my favorite Call of Duty. I'm curious to see what the two guys who thought about that, what they're working on right now. I think hardcore Call of Duty fans would give it a chance.
Right, and I think that's the most important thing. People that give it a chance are going to like it.
All right.
Yeah. I'm ready.
You guys have any holy shit moments during Titanfall, like when you're playing? Aside from people getting punched in the face and blown up?
Holy shit, thank God it's over.
There is my favorite part is actually the end of the match, because the end of every Titanfall match is something called an epilogue. So what would happen is, say I'm in one team and Joel's on another team. My team wins. There's still a chance for Joel's team, even if they were utterly defeated, to net some extra EXP just to not feel like complete losers. And what'll happen is be like, hey, surviving pilots, we're gonna send an evac ship to this point in 30 seconds. So from there, it becomes one life for everyone. So people are trying to escape. The winning team is trying to blow up the escape shuttle, or kill all the pilots in there. So it becomes this really cool kind of cat and mouse game. And
it's like Black Hawk Down right there, Jesus.
Yeah, it's
pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty intense, because once you actually make it inside the hangar, you could still inside the ship, you can still be shot at, and your ship could still be blown up. So you're just in there shooting out your ship.
Hoping that they won't blow that shit up.
Yeah, and I've seen some really cool strategies where people are like, fuck it, I'm gonna put my Titan in follow mode, I'm gonna get in this shuttle, and hopefully people don't kill me.
I have a question, because I obviously haven't played this game. Who are you fighting against? Are you fighting against aliens or other humans?
Humans. I think you're it's an army versus rebel army.
Yeah.
It's typical sci-fi bullshit.
It's like a Galactic Empire versus rebels.
I don't know. I had no sense of what the story is like. Oh, you're the Liberation Army of the blah blah blah. I'm like,
Time out. D-Rod, you talking shit about Star Wars right now, D-Rod?
I definitely made a Star Wars reference.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I just went right through it. No, I don't give them the satisfaction. These fucking Trekkies.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on, you were talking about Star Wars and then you said Trekkies do two different things.
And it's you can't even comment on that. It's just let them.
I was commenting on that Dave has this Star Trek buy-in, so everything he says about Star Wars is set with a little bit of venom behind it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Keep eating your Dominoes, David.
Yeah.
I ate the Dominoes already. Let's go to Dominoes. All right, yes, we're gonna move on. There's one more game that you guys are playing right now that we're going to talk about. It is, it's DLC, Left Behind for The Last of Us. Ryan and Tony, you guys played that, right? You want to say some stuff about it?
I know it's the most innovative DLC ever.
I wouldn't
blow, blow.
Oh, man.
I had to.
But, yeah, so this thing actually came out on Valentine's Day, which is actually appropriate if you actually played it. Ryan, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like the game, man. Just be prepared to have your fucking heart ripped out of your chest, because it's another tearjerker. It's amazing. Naughty Dog, man. I don't know, how much of this can we talk about? Because I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't actually played it.
Yeah, I wouldn't spoil stories.
Since we're doing it live, yeah, I can't really like
Yeah.
leap or anything.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But I did a review for it. Check that out. But yeah, it's really great. Like, that's the thing I like about the franchise. It's it has it's a third person shooter, but it's more about survival, and you can't just run around like you fucking Rambo and shit. It's really about survival and stuff, and it's all about the characters, and they really emphasize that. I like the fact that this game took a totally different. It's telling two stories at once, and one story is like totally different than the actual proper game, but it actually makes the ending a lot more like meaningful because of that. It's just fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like Tony said, like this is definitely more story focused. It's very light on combat. There's only really like 2 or 3 like big combat set pieces pretty much that take place in it. But otherwise, yeah, like Tony said, like it's very emotional and very story driven. And even though it's really short, it's only like 2 or 3 hours at most really to beat it. I think it does a good job of telling its own story, but also bringing to light some stuff from the original game that makes you see it in a slightly different perspective, maybe from how you saw the original game. So that's and it's a shame that there's not going to be more story DLC, because I could totally see them doing like episodic sort of like DLC for it. That would have been awesome. But
yeah, I'm actually glad they went back in time with this, because I was really, because the ending to Last of Us was perfect as far as I'm concerned. Anything that would happen after that would kind of ruin the experience. I'm glad they kind of went back with that. Joel, you were gonna ask something?
No,
You were. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say because Tony kept emphasizing the hurt that he felt.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if George R.R. Martin is maybe he's not finishing the Game of Thrones books because he's busy with stories. Is that what's going on?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's close to that. I want to say this. I actually tweeted this out because I love this. Because I'm sure you guys have had this problem with DLCs before. A DLC comes out months after the game comes out. You pop it in, you're like, how the fuck do I play this? I totally forget. So this thing at the beginning is like, do you remember how to play this? If so, click here. If you don't remember how to play this, we'll give you a tutorial. I'm like, thank you, Naughty Dog, because I forgot how to play this fucking game.
Yeah.
That was great. I really appreciated that.
That was a nice little touch that they put into, which was kind of nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on a scale, on a scale of Heavy Rain to Journey, how much did this make you cry at the end?
Mass Effect 3.
I welled up a little bit in that one, so.
In a good way, not because the ending was bad way.
Yeah.
That Thane scene in Mass Effect 3, all right? That got me a little.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that was some real shit right there.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna ask this like on a scale of 1 to 10, because I gave the thing a 9, and one guy was like, "Only a 9?" I'm like, "Since when is the fucking 9 bad?"
Oh, I've seen people complain about 9s before.
Yeah, but no, it deserves it. It's fucking great. From Heavy Rain to Journey. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, it's above beyond.
Yeah.
Jason.
Jason. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I don't want to spoil it too much.
Jesus.
It's tough to talk about it in more detail because it's so short, and saying anything might give stuff away. But overall,
spoiler
it's really
territory.
good. It's a good extension of The Last of Us, especially if you're a fan of the original game. And it's definitely worth playing.
Definitely.
All right. I'm definitely gonna check it out myself. A friend of mine has my copy of The Last of Us, so I gotta wait.
Motherfucker.
I'm not.
I know, right? That's actually, I said that. Like, I went to my wall where I have my games. I'm like, all right, let me get The Last of Us out. It's Valentine's Day, and then the game wasn't there, and I just have to say to myself, motherfucker.
Oh, if you get the chance to, check out the Facebook pages of Tony and I for a little surprise from the game as well. So.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
because I'm not going to give it away, but the thing asks you, like, do you want to link to Facebook? I'm like, okay, you can link to Facebook.
Yeah, if you check our Facebook pages, there's a fun Last of Us surprise. So.
Yeah, Ryan, you were surprised too, because when I went to my Facebook, I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yep, yeah.
That was cool.
Yep.
I'm looking. Oh, that's what that's from?
Yep.
Because I saw that. No, I saw that. I'm like, where did he find this? What the hell is he like? What is Ryan doing? But that. Oh, okay. Well, now it makes sense.
You think Ryan's just trolling folks?
I'm just like, what the fuck is he doing?
He's in Coney Island, just doing some photo.
Yeah, one of my friends actually went, Tony, who are those people, and why are they not real? I'm like, okay.
What?
Oh man, I got some interesting friends.
I'm surprised
yeah.
that owns a computer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
What happened?
You're not gonna play it?
You know,
Why?
I think Last of Us ended just fine, and I'm like, you know what? I don't need to go back into this universe because first of all, that universe is a fucking bummer, and that game just left you kind of emotionally drained at the end, where it's like, you know what? This is not gonna end well, so I don't need to.
Yeah.
So.
He just finished paying off his therapist bills.
Yeah. So once a week now.
Oh my god,
man.
All right. What else we got going on? Okay, we're gonna jump around the itinerary a little bit. The Order 1886. Has anybody seen the new trailer for this?
Yep.
That trailer is nuts. The gameplay is nuts. A little quick-timey, but I mean, it looks ridiculous. So, if
I don't know.
If that's the game running broken, apparently, like it's like a crappy build. I can't even imagine what the polished version is going to look like.
Oh, really? Wait, that's the reason that they're giving?
What?
Because I saw it and I was just like, you know, it looks all right, but I wasn't like blown away, honestly. Maybe I'm just more cynical this week. I don't know.
So on a scale of Rise, Son of Rome to
to God of War 3.
No, it's not that quick timing. I don't think it was that quick timing, was it?
No, it wasn't like that. And Dave, I'm actually glad you said that because I saw this and I'm like, I wasn't that impressed. Like, okay, I like the art style, I like the world they set up, but it's a third-person shoot. I kind of wanted something new in terms of gameplay. It still looked the same, you know. So I wasn't too impressed. I mean, I'm still gonna get the game. It's just I wasn't as blown away as I was expecting to be.
Yeah.
But graphically, yeah, it looks fucking beautiful. Like that's what we want to see in next-gen games. So
yeah, I don't know. I saw a couple of what is it, GIF or GIF, whatever, it's GIF. I saw a couple of GIFs that, like, you know, showcasing some parts of the game that looked pretty cool. But when I saw the trailer and everything in context, and you know they're ripping off the black oil from the X-Files, I was just like, you know, that's
oh shit,
it's all right. No, because I honestly watched the trailer for the X-Files movie, and I'm like, they really took the black oil from this. Stop.
But yeah, this is just
it's gonna be one of those wait and see things for me. I mean, the gameplay sounds interesting. It's just I need to see it more in context. So probably at E3 they'll have like a bigger demo, hopefully. But that's what I'm waiting for right now. I'm not really fapping over it right now.
Yeah, you're just kind of rubbing it a little, right? You're not full on fapping.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
Did anyone get any like Killzone 2 vibes from this trailer, or?
I haven't played Killzone 2.
No, because it actually looks like the game. You know, the game actually looks like the fucking trailer.
Oh no, that's
like
the game. No, that's 100% the game.
That's the game.
That's not a target render. That's game.
Yeah, that's why I was looking. I was like, oh, it looks neat, but then I'm like,
no, that's real. That's the actual thing.
I don't know. Them shadows look a little too good.
George, when you get a PS4, you're gonna see that it does exist. It's legit.
When he trades in his Xbox One, he gets it.
You're gonna be like, holy shit! Look at these graphics. This is amazing.
60 frames a second. What?
Oh
1080p?
What is that?
It was only a matter of time before that came up. It's only a matter of time.
I don't mean to troll you, George, but I mean that's one thing. Not to go back to Titanfall, it doesn't look that great. The PC stuff looks really nice.
Yeah, the PC stuff looks nice.
But the Xbox One, it was just okay. It looked nice.
And Titanfall is the one that's 792p, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Those extra 72 pixels go a long way.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she said.
No, I mean, the Order.
Go ahead.
The Order looks really good, but let me tell you, a game that looks. I mean, George. I think Tony was playing it, but Tomb Raider
yes,
looks fucking nuts. Let me tell you right now, that game looks crazy. And considering that it was just an up-res, PC port, it looks crazy. Like, so far, that's the best PS4 game I've seen, visually.
I find it interesting that the two games that I find most visually impressive on the PS4 are ports of other games. Assassin's Creed 4 blew me away, and then Tomb Raider's like, what the fuck is this? This is amazing.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 4 blew my mind.
That was amazing.
First got it. As soon as you zoom out of the pirate ship and you're just kind of just sailing and they're singing, you're like, oh, balls, this is really nice.
You know what parts impressed me the most? When you had to do the fort missions at night with the rain and all that fire and shit. Like, whoa.
Or just random cyclones just all over the place. It was,
Yeah, so yeah, I'm with Joel. That Tomb Raider
I
was
feel like
amazing.
Tomb Raider looks even better than that. Like Tomb Raider looks.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I think if out of everything I've seen so far, the top ones are visually are Killzone and Tomb Raider, but Tomb Raider I think it's better than Killzone, and
I agree.
That's a third party going over a first party game. And I put the Order up there with Tomb Raider because I don't know, it's just there's something about seeing still shots and then seeing something in action. I felt like the movement and the fluidity of everything we saw in that gameplay video today was pretty nuts, and I don't know, I just like to pick up on the little details when watching stuff like that, and the transition between QuickTime to gameplay, there was no difference in visual fidelity at all. It was literally cutscene gameplay, QuickTime event, and it's just that's an interactive experience. I think that's what I took away from today's gameplay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good.
Joel, specifically. Remember when we saw the first trailer for Watch Dogs 2 years ago?
And I was you were at E3 with me that year.
Yeah, that was my first E3.
Well, you said like, and I was like, this is next gen.
Yeah. And like when we first saw it, because this is what it's reminded me of. When we first saw it, we were acting the way we're acting right now about the Order, where we're just losing our minds.
Right.
And I feel like it's just like, I don't know, just like the initial stuff we're seeing, it just doesn't seem like it's enough for me right now. Because like Watch Dogs at this point, we've seen more of it, and it's kind of, I don't know, that anticipation's kind of depreciated a little bit.
Yeah, well, but that's what's going to happen. You got to keep in mind, right? So we got to look at the cycles in which these games are made, right? So Watch Dogs is probably in production for 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I'm not saying that the Order hasn't been, but the Order was probably been in production for the last 3 years. So they've got that year of leeway using newer techniques. And it's just that's just the way it's always going to move forward, And honestly, we're going to look back at games like the Order, games like Titanfall, and be like, "Whoa, they look like shit," That's
Titanfall, yeah.
Oh god.
You said look back, but 5 minutes ago you were like, "Man, that game was like shit." It looks okay. It looks okay.
When we get like 6 years into it, you'll look back at the stuff.
When they can afford an next-gen system.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yes. When we get to that point. But yeah, I mean, it's just that's always the way it's going to be. So early on, and again, even Watch Dogs. Look how good Assassin's Creed Black Flag looks compared to Assassin's Creed 2. Same engine.
Yeah.
But what they do is they build on the foundation they've already laid down, and they make it just better, shinier, nicer, bigger, louder, faster, stuff like that. So, again, all these games are just going to look better as we get further and further to the generation, but that's a normal thing to happen. So you see, I get it. And now here's the other thing, too. Watch Dogs looked amazing 2 years ago, but that was before we saw, a Tomb Raider on last-gen consoles looking as good as what Watch Dogs looked like at E3 2 years ago.
Good point, yeah.
So you got to look at it, I guess, in that light,
Yeah, and think about it like this. Yeah. If look how good the Order looks now, and that's an old build of the game. Imagine when it actually launches, it's gonna look really fucking good.
Right.
I think my biggest concern is I try to take these trailers almost like a grain of salt because I keep thinking of the Aliens Colonial Marines like rope-a-dope that they tried doing, or just debate and switch.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Oh man.
Where it's like, let's see when the Order comes out, and people are like, oh, it looks good, but let's pull this trailer and just do a side by side. Like,
No.
They put all their money into Borderlands, sir.
The Order's the next Colonial Marines. Jorge's calling it.
I hate you, Jorge, if you're right. No, but
I go to every game with just completely optimistic. I hope the Order is fantastic. I want games to do well.
I own no stock in Sony. I have no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
To defend the Order. I think we just lost Dave.
Yeah, we just lost Dave.
Dave. He'll be back. I mean, I have no reason to defend that game at all, but I think I don't know, the way these previews that happened, like, it wasn't just a gameplay reveal. They had journalists like having a hands-off preview in Santa Monica. They had a big event at Sony at one of their like development studios where they showed off 3 titles. This was one of them. This was the final embargo of the 3 games shown. So I don't think they would actually show a hands-off, eyes-on demo running in real time if it wasn't the real thing.
And it was and it was a PS4. It just wasn't like, hey, this is an Alien one, but it's like a PS4. Like,
no, right. Yeah. And that's the whole thing too. And the thing with Colonial Marines, the funny thing it's funny you mentioned that because I remember seeing that game back at my very first E3, which was 2010, and seriously, that long ago. That's the first time I saw Alien, Colonial Marines, and it was that trailer, that bullshit trailer. And the following year, it was that bullshit trailer again. There was not even a hands-off demo. It was just like bullshit trailers after bullshit trailers. And then we finally had gotten to like PAX East the year of its release, and then you finally saw some snippets of gameplay, but never the final product. So I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna wind up, but we'll see. What was the
Yeah, since Dave is gone, I'm going to take this shit over.
You got it? I have the itinerary list.
Yeah, I have it right here. So let's move it on. This is actually pretty big. Irrational Games is shutting down. Ken Levine is going to take 15 guys with him. They're going to start another studio, and they want to focus more on narrative-driven games, but narrative that is replayable because with a lot of games that are narrative-based, you play them once and you're done. So, but they didn't say what that entails. Does it mean it's going to be like The Walking Dead, where it has like branching stories or anything like that? So yeah, what do you guys think about this whole thing?
Was there a mention of mobile on that too?
Not in the thing I saw. There was nothing about mobile. I mean, who knows what they're going to do? I mean, they said they want to make games for whatever the core audience. So I'm guessing maybe mobile. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. They didn't really go into specifics about that, but it's pretty interesting. I don't think anybody saw this shit coming either. So yeah, what do you guys think?
Well, I'm hoping that they do BioShock for Vita. That's my guess. But,
Yeah, that's up in limbo now, isn't it?
I don't think that was happening. I'm sorry, Ron. I'm sorry.
I'm more curious to see what the behind the scenes was for this, because this came out of nowhere and there was no. I mean, it's not like BioShock didn't sell.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like they had a clunker on their hands and it was like, listen, you guys got to get the fuck out of this office, all right? Like, you know how much money we paid for that Beach Boys song for you to remix? Get out of my office, Ken Levine.
I mean, there's a couple things you have to take into consideration. I think. You have to look at Take-Two as the conglomerate that it is, right?
Yeah.
So obviously they're not EA size, they're not Activision size, but they're a big publicly traded company. Now, they've had a couple games fall into development hell. BioShock Infinite was one of those games. BioShock Infinite was a game that was shown at E3 2011. 2010 as a video, 2011 as a hands-off thing, and then it didn't release until last year, right?
Yeah,
last year.
13.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a game that got delayed twice, I believe.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't ready yet. But keep in mind, so wait a minute. So you had GTA 5 that cost Take-Two $250 million.
He's not exaggerating, people. $250 million.
$250 million. You had the XCOM game, not the tactical one, the other one,
the Bureau.
The Bureau, yeah.
XCOM the Bureau, that was in development hell. Apparently they lost like $160 million on that title.
And that was for like 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
That was crazy, yeah.
Something absurd on that title, right? Wait, Take-Two had to pay for the baseball license this whole time, right? Because they had a baseball game.
Yeah, that's right.
So they had a baseball game, right? So that's the whole thing. Like, so I think people see like layoffs, they see like studios closing and stuff like that. But you really when shit like this happens, it's not because BioShock didn't sell well. Because I don't think that's what it is.
No.
It's that there's so much other shit going on that it becomes a victim of circumstance, and it's like, all right, we got to do something. We have to axe something. This year they didn't renew their baseball license, right? So there's no baseball game coming from 2K, and right now Irrational Games got pretty much shut down. But these are the things they have to make these kinds of decisions. You think they're going to call Rockstar and be like, listen, you guys got 17 offices, we need you to close one. Rockstar's going to be like, Rockstar's going to be like, close this. Close this.
So now it's looking like if without GTA 5, Take-Two Interactive literally looks like the worst publisher in the world.
That's it?
Yeah.
And it's like, and I don't think they can wait around for Grand Theft Auto 5 to be released every couple of years to sustain their business. Like,
every 5 years or so, dude. Yeah, you know, they don't pump them out that frequently.
Yeah, but when they do, they make a lot of money. So it's like, are they really just focusing on just like the?
Remember,
are they just sustaining on Rockstar games?
Yeah, remember, BioShock is not dead. Take-Two still owns the property, so
and they're going to continue it too.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
They did it without Irrational Games. They did it with 2K Czech, which also got closed. That also got closed a couple months ago. So, and 2K Marin also got closed. They've been shutting down studios left and right. They're saving money. They're like, you know what? Fuck all these other games. Let's just make Grand Theft Auto games.
They don't even make it. It's basically they just beg Rockstar to just, we need some DLC. You guys are working on DLC, right?
Just call him Dan, please. Dan dying over here, please. I got rent to make. You know, but that's the whole thing. So when you look at these closings, don't look at Ken Levine as he's like, you know, like letting all these people go. Don't look at Irrational Games. You got to look at
Joel, I don't think that's what's upset. Well, I don't think that's what's upsetting people. Me personally, it's just upsetting to see that in all these situations, it's the little guy that gets like fucked over each time. You know, like they have a studio that makes a few games and they close it, and then you know these people are out of work.
I get it.
You know, and that's why my question was in the itinerary. Like, do you guys think that this industry that last year did domestically did around a third more gross revenue than the film industry? No. Do they need a union? You know, do these people need to start organizing now? Because every time, and I've been doing this long enough, whenever I see a studio close, I see game journalists tweeting out job opportunities. Like, they're tweeting out more than the fucking Arab Spring. You know, like it's crazy. There's a lot of people that are being hung out to dry each time this happens.
Already on Twitter, I saw a lot. There's an Irrational Jobs hashtag going around. There's a Google Doc that's going around, being sent around by journalists for people that got laid off by Irrational. Yeah, like kind of like what David said. So,
I mean, it's the one thing. I mean, the industry does band together, so it's and people find a way. People make it work. But with that in mind, there's nothing good about people losing their place of employment, you know, their source of income.
No, of course,
their livelihood,
their jobs, their livelihood. There's nothing wrong with that. But also, let's look at the other side of the coin. It's kind of like people that sign up for the military. You know what you're signing up for.
Yeah.
Right. So this is a high risk, high reward, you know, lucrative industry. You know, and people are successful. They're far and few between, and people, you know, do bounce around from company to company. We even see it with PR people that we work with. I've seen people bounce from Nintendo PR to Sony to Microsoft and back and forth. People bounce around, people move around. I think it's almost become like a nature of this industry. It's also it's become like a second nature for these places to close and get shut down or whatever, and everyone helping each other out. So I mean, at least you have it that people are helping each other out and looking out for one another. But it's an unfortunate thing that has to happen. But at the end of the day, it's a business. You know, it sucks. But let me tell you, the ones that are successful, they're doing all right. Like,
that's true.
And that's why I say it's a high risk, high reward. But you know, it sucks that people have to lose their jobs. But it's something that they knew what they were getting themselves into when they jumped into video games.
Hey, all it takes is one Flappy Bird.
I'm
just saying.
It's so true.
Steal some Nintendo assets and you're good. You'll make $50,000 a day.
It's so true.
It's still mind-boggling to me that he was making that much. That is insane. That's insanity.
He claimed to have made $50,000 a day.
We don't need to get any fat Flappy Bird. Oh God.
I do not doubt that shit.
It's probably more. But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like one thing that more and more publishers have been doing, because there's been some whistleblowers, you know, family members of people that work for these publishers and these developers, you know, calling out the awful work conditions and calling out
the crunch times and
crunching the unpaid overtime.
Right. So it's there are whistleblowers out there. You know, I'm surprised that these people haven't banded together. But then here's the other thing: well, these publishers can turn around and say, you know what? If you're a member of that union, we're not giving you work.
Start your own indie studio.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Yeah.
so it's not. I get what you're saying, Dave, and I'm not saying that's a bad idea. It's just going to be a lot easier.
No, it's never easy. No, never.
Right. But I mean, it sucks that Irrational Games. I couldn't believe it when I saw I just saw it come up on my feed and I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, because they're just one of those studios that you think just has that longevity. You know, you think of like a Bungie or like at the time we were thinking, hey, remember Rare? Rare used to be a big, huge studio, and like now they're just kind of like, yeah, you know.
They're the Connect Sports studio.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I guess you just never know when any of these studios could just suddenly just disappear.
Yeah.
You know, you just never know. It's interesting. Oh yeah, I should also note that Ken Levine actually mentioned these kind of games last year because he said that's his goal now, that he wants to make replayable narrative games, and now that's what he wants to do with the studio. So
That's what he wrote on the website.
Yeah, exactly.
Narrative-driven, highly replayable games.
Yep. He talked about this last year, and now that's what they're going to be doing. So we shall see.
Godspeed, sir. How much time are we at right now? Because I
have no
lost
idea.
the call
I
for
don't
a
think
second.
anybody's going to.
I think we're like at 45. We're close.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do a quick news rundown. So Thief is 1080p on the PS4 and 900 on the Xbox One.
Talk about this shit again.
George, I'm sorry. I didn't make this shit up, George. Fucking Dave made this idea. Sorry.
Why am I the one who's supposed to get like super offended by this?
Because you're the Xbox guy. I want you to get.
You're Mr. Xbox One right now.
Right.
I want you to be the. Can you be the Tom Warren of DualShockers? I just want you to just write.
He's just jealous of those extra 180 pixels.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You got 792 in Titanfall,
You know what?
so you're good.
You're just overcompensating with all those extra P's. Perfectly satisfied with 900 or 8, whatever. I don't know. What was it? I mean, I think
900.
I think the focus again, outside of the resolution gauge, should be let's hope Thief is good as opposed to the resolution it runs on.
Yeah, seriously.
Exactly.
Talk
After what I saw, seriously, let's
talk about a game that's not shown well at the last couple of press events.
Yes.
And there's nothing more heartbreaking when you're watching a playthrough of Thief, and the guy's like, "Hey, what'd you think?" I'm like, "Need a drink."
Like, it's all right.
Yeah, I think it wasn't a game that demoed well, considering it's had so many mechanics and you're sneaking around. It's like, so I can't decipher whether the game's just not good or it's just like it's just too complex to play that I need more than 45 minutes or 15 minutes to sit with it. It's like I don't know. Like I need to play that game for 3 hours to just be like, oh no, it's still bad. Okay, gotcha. Like I think stealth games are really tough to show, especially that kind of traditional, and they're going traditional stealth with this, where you get caught. It's like, oh no, you can fight your way out. I'm like, no, those two dudes are really kicking your ass. Like, it's not a Dishonored type deal where it's like, oh no, you can fight your way out of 6 guys because you can teleport and stuff like that. So
Assassin's Creed, just hold triangle and press square every now and then.
This is more
kill
like
12 guys.
The original Splinter Cell games. Remember in those games, you would get fucked up if you got caught.
Well,
unless the mission didn't end.
Yeah, if
Sam,
you got caught 3 times, you were dead. Like, no, Sam Fisher, America lost. Fuck
yeah, pretty much.
What else we got going on? Okay, so there's Industry Insider.
Heartbroken.
He rumored.
Just
heartbroken. I can see the tears. All right, so the rumor is there's going to be new IPs from Guerrilla and Sony Santa Monica. The Last Guardian, because I think that's just obligatory for every insider or whoever passes rumors to just throw that in there.
Yeah, just throw it in there. Last Guardian.
Just throw it. Yeah, because this will get, attention. And then Gran Turismo 7 Prologue is rumored as well.
Prologue?
And because Gran Turismo 5 Prologue was so well received,
Wow.
Oh, look, if that's true, I'd polyphonies out of their fucking minds. I don't know anyone that said they couldn't wait to get 5 Prologue or that they liked the idea of playing with a few cars for a couple of years. So I don't know.
I mean, it's gonna happen with Ground Zero's Metal Gear. It's like the release. The game's not coming out till Part 5's not coming out till like 2015.
No one knows.
Late 2015.
Kojima says it's ready, man.
Which could be a million years.
You wait for a game.
What was that?
Were you just dramatically reading his tweets?
Yes.
Wait for a game.
Wait for a game.
I love your American television. It's so good.
I had sushi for breakfast this morning.
Oh my god.
Stop
I can't believe this is happening right now.
Incredibly racist.
That's definitely not racist. That's not racist at all.
New IP from Guerrilla Studio. I want to see something new outside of Killzone. I'm so sick of Killzone.
Agreed.
I don't know who's dying for more Killzone. I don't want any more Killzone. Show me something else in that pretty engine.
Herman Holst is dying for Killzone.
You know what?
If your name is Herman Holst, you can only make games called Killzone.
He's a bad person. They're forcing Killzone down our throat. They want us to love this universe.
Yeah,
universe
and it's not working.
It's super dull. I can care less about these future people. Like, no, don't care. The Darth Vader mask guys are really neat, but I get tired of shooting them. Show me something compelling. No more Killzone. I don't care.
Yeah,
Yes,
you took the words right out of my mouth. Fuck that.
The year of Luigi is ending on March 18th.
Oh,
so
what are we gonna do?
conclude all of your Luigi-related activities, because after March 18th, they're not going to be cool anymore.
Oh no.
So Nintendo may do well again.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, right?
I'm just saying.
Just wait until Smash Brothers.
I don't know. They were just like, hey, it's the year of Luigi, and just everything went wrong for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Somehow they said, if we make this year of Luigi, we're going to sell 9 million Wii U's, and they did not.
Yeah,
Because Luigi is the mascot of the company.
Just wait for the year of Peach when it comes around this year. So
it's like a Chinese New Year, you know.
All I'm saying, Nintendo could do some damage if they can just, please, God, make Smash Brothers online on the DS XL. Real online, not ad hoc. That's all I'm asking.
Or cross-platform. Wouldn't it be
Or
neat if it was a cross-platform thing? Just...
or have
Okay, but
online that works. That would be nice.
Nintendo will have to come into the year 2014 for that to happen, guys.
Like, if Nintendo figured out how to use the internet, I think that'd be a big
Yeah.
forward. Like, if they learned how to use a router and said, like, oh, we should connect multiple devices at once. Like, no.
Miyamoto, just give me a call. I'll go over. I'll set the whole thing up for you. I'll do it for free. I'll set up, a nice Netgear router, hook up your network card, PC.
Miyamoto's email address is miyamoto@netscape.com.
He's a he seems like a project guy. Like,
he definitely still has a Netscape.
Oh man, wouldn't that be great if they just had like a universal account for something? Like somehow the idea of buying something on your DS and then being able to access it on a different Nintendo platform, I don't know why that idea is so foreign to them. I don't know why they just didn't even approach it. It's just like, no, they don't. Why would they want something? Why do they want to play on Wii? That's crazy.
We're lucky the eShop isn't hosted on a GeoCities website.
Let's get into some Final Fantasy news here. Don't worry, it's not the one that I play. Final Fantasy 12 HD is a possibility, according to the guy whose name I forgot.
12 was the really
Kitase, yeah.
12 was the really political one, right?
Yeah, 12 was
really political.
I really like 12. I would totally play it.
Yeah. 12 was basically 11 just offline. They took everything from 11, they just made a game out of it. The battle system, all that shit.
Yeah.
No, for real.
That was the game that played itself.
Yeah,
exactly.
That was actually the only thing I liked about that game. Was like, oh, I really don't have to play this. I just got to put up with this stupid character the whole time.
Yeah. No protagonist. That game too.
No, it was Von Ratsbane. That was a game that was just a pure example of just it being focus tested, because that game was originally supposed to just be about Bosch being the main character, but no, he didn't appeal to people. People would relate more to Von Ratsbane. I'm like, who are these people? And they should be sent to North Korea and never come back.
That's awful.
And a Final Fantasy VII remake, same thing. They said it would take like years to make. It would probably take 500 people, so stop asking for it.
Also, they don't want to make it. I
don't want them to make it.
They should just say it. It's like, listen, guys, we get it. You love this game and you want to see it. We just don't want to do it.
You're gonna make it. Put your cell phone. And
nah.
That's it.
What else we got here? Final Fantasy XIII's Lightning. Her arc is concluded, but the character may appear in other games.
Lightning may return again.
Yeah,
with bigger boobs.
In a cameo in some game. Who knows? And Final Fantasy XIII's mythology will be connected to Final Fantasy 15, which was okay. That was news to some people, and other people were like, this is so old.
Yeah, we knew that already.
But what I assumed was when they announced it as 15 that they were kind of starting from scratch maybe story-wise, and that's why it was being rebranded. But apparently not.
My theory is has something to do with the ending of Lightning Returns. I won't say what it is, but I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. The world.
I saw the ending to Lightning Returns because I had no interest in playing it.
Yeah.
And I saw the theories about it, and I'm like, that's interesting, but I still don't know how that would relate to 15.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but
what are you George, what are you doing?
I just put on my anti-Final Fantasy sunglasses.
And a scholar little thingy there.
And
yeah, you graduated.
And my better Final Fantasy idea hat. And the idea I came up with is let's not deal with lightning ever. And
I agree with you. Yeah.
Let's
done.
And let's just not do Final Fantasy. You know what? Let's take a risk, guys. All right. I got my cool guy shades. Let's just get rid of it. Look, Bravely Default is a game that is exactly like Final Fantasy, but not called that, and it's doing just fine. Let's just drop it. You know, we're ready to move on from Final Fantasy.
All right,
Joker.
Just say,
George, wish in one hand and shit in the other. See which one fills up first.
Wow.
No, okay.
Because I made fun of
real now, man. Goddamn.
It's because I made fun of Star Trek earlier, and that's just like his sauce.
That's still that cut deep, man. Oh yeah, one more thing. The PS4 has sold 5 million units since launch. So
congratulations to Sony.
For all you PS fanboys, here's a nice little, for your EP. There you go.
There's validation. That's a lot of fucking Xboxes. That's a lot of PlayStation.
Just wait until they sell.
It's a Freudian slip, George.
1080 million units.
1080 million units.
Well,
and Xbox has 900.
Just to put this in perspective, in terms of what this means, I mean, it's great for console gaming in general. Microsoft is moving units, Sony's moving units. This is really, really good. Because it shows that people want hardware right now. That's a great thing. They waited long enough. People were hungry for them, and they're selling. You can't find PS4s in stock still. So they come.
400 is the magical number.
They come in and they go. And the one telling thing about the 5.3, the original forecast, what Sony was aiming for, was 5 million by the end of March.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're talking about third week of February. They're at 5.3 million. God damn, that's a lot of PlayStation.
Yeah, and now they're projecting like 6 million by the end of March. So
that's crazy.
It's insane.
Your eyes are crazy right now, Tony.
I saw that too.
But no, it's really that's a crazy number. To put things in perspective, when the Xbox 360 launched in 2005, by the time that the PS3 launched a year later, Microsoft had moved 10 million units, and that was like unheard of, that lead. So I can't even imagine what these people are going to do in the first year. 3 million in 3 months, they're probably trending to probably 13, 14 million units.
Shit, yeah.
That's amazing, because the more consoles that are out there, the more people are going to be fighting for exclusive titles. More competition.
That deserved the moniker, George.
Yes, because I was going to say, I'm going to say something insightful right now. This is my insightful moniker. This is the, regardless of what console it is, the more of them floating out there, the better.
Exactly. I find it interesting. Remember, these analysts are saying consoles are dead. It's all about mobile. What do you say about this?
Fucking 9 million consoles later.
Yeah, exactly.
In like literally, PS3's out 3 months on the 15th.
Yeah, PS4. Yeah.
I mean, PS4's out 3 months on the 15th. That's absurd.
Yeah, and the fanboys are like, oh yeah, PS4 selling. We're like, Xbox is selling a lot too, man.
But obviously, console gaming is dying, guys. Obviously.
So I just find it funny because these guys, they like to focus on what's happening at the moment. It's like, mobile is so hot now. This is the future. I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. Honestly, what happens in a moment is not indicative of the future,
Honestly, I think what's happening with mobile, what's happening with consoles, I think mobile is helping consoles. I know this is going to sound crazy.
Okay, hit us with some facts.
No, not really a fact. It's just a crazy thought.
Okay.
Do you need a monocle first? I can give
No.
Hold on. He can hook you up.
Wait, you can hook me up?
No, I don't think you can hook me. I think you have to hook yourself up.
Hook me up.
I'm drag and drop and nothing's happening.
No, it doesn't work like that.
It's such a Google effects, right?
Yeah.
Effects? Is that what we're doing right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So where's this monocle here? I definitely need to put this on. All right.
Okay, yeah. So yeah.
Oh my God.
There we go. There we go.
Basically, I mean, this is going to sound crazy. Now, think about this. You go to a store, you go to an Apple store, Best Buy, and spend $500 on a tablet.
Yeah.
Or you can spend $500 or $400, which either way you go, on a fucking game console that's going to last you a decade. With a decade worth of games.
Perfect.
So, and I think, honestly, I'm serious, like, these consumer electronics, they are coming down in price, but some of them are still $200, $300. You know, a Nexus tablet fully loaded is $349. So you can get that, or $50 more, you get a PS4. So honestly, I think price point is helping this time around. I think they're at the perfect price point, even though the cost of everything else has gone up, and you know all these other consumer electronics that we've been picking up are getting more and more expensive. You know, cell phone companies are selling phones at full price now. You know, and people are prepared to buy phones at $500, $600, $700 a pop. You know, because they have like no contract or whatever, so they're buying them at full price. Buying a console at $400 isn't so bad. And I think that the cost of other electronics and all these other devices being parts of our lives, and those not, you know, the prices of those kinds of devices not being so accessible for some people, the console doesn't seem like that bad of a deal.
Yeah, I think people just like seeing the success of mobile games just because when a mobile game does well, it makes news everywhere. Like, yeah, that, as much as making fun of Flappy Birds, it was making $50,000 a day. That's nothing to laugh at. And that was a free game that probably cost him, like, what, $40 to make in Game Maker. Like, I think when an analyst sees that, it's like, this is the fucking future. People are making games for nothing. He was in some shed with bamboo network cables. How does he do it? Mobiles.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Oh God.
They see dollar. Yeah, you see dollar signs, people go nuts. Or it's just like, oh, mobile's the new thing. Look, it made $1 billion. That's not always the case. It's not always about money.
Right.
Yep.
Right. and I just think that these units came in at the right price, and it's really showing, and it's helping. It's helping a whole lot. So thank you, Microsoft and Sony, for not trying to charge like $800 for these machines.
You're right, though.
As much as you wanted to.
They could have easily gone that route, too.
As much as you wanted. They could have been like, well, shit's gone up. I'm sorry. It's going to be $1,000.
Like, this E3 could have been a lot more weird if, like... well, I'm pretty sure there was a dartboard there of just like, all right, listen, we're going to start at $600, and we're going to see how the under... We're going to see. Let's see what they're going to do, all right? And if they groan next week, we're slashing it down $75. Or like, what's Microsoft going to do? $500? Well, fuck them. We're doing $400. We're taking a loss. That's fine. I'll take a loss. I'll take the hit. And I was like, I keep for my favorite Sony exec is Ken Kutaragi. Just because I think of him as like an anime villain. and he's totally not. He's just like a sweet, gentle old man. But I keep thinking him as like the final boss from like Final Fight or like Streets of Rage. He's just sitting in his chair with his martini and just like, yeah, he's just evil. And that's how I see Ken Kutaragi. And yeah, that's $500. No, $400.
Jesus.
Black Friday Bundaroo.
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh God.
So
we're the worst.
What are you guys playing this week, excluding Titanfall beta?
Who's going first?
I'm just savoring the flavor that is Tomb Raider right now.
Yeah, it's pretty damn sweet, ain't it?
Dude, the one thing is, me, I can only take I want to like just marathon the shit out of that game, but I can only take it in small doses because I feel so bad for her.
Yeah.
Man,
especially if you get her killed.
Oh shit.
Oh God, yeah.
No, but like when things get intense and that music comes on, I'm just like, fuck, shit. I need to get out of here now.
Doesn't that game have like a really good survival horror feel for the first couple hours? Or
it does, yeah.
It's really tense, and and then until you start getting weapons, and you're like, oh, I can fight back. That's great. But yeah, the first couple hours.
Then you're like, bring it.
Yeah, it's she's an unstoppable killing machine, and like she does that literally on a dime, where she kills a guy, she cries for like 30 minutes, and then she literally just kills everyone.
Yep.
Which by the way. The PR team and the marketing team behind Tomb Raider saying, don't call it an Uncharted clone, it's not Uncharted. Fuck all of you. Fuck all of you.
I actually like that better than Uncharted. I mean, I prefer that more than Uncharted. I think it did Uncharted better than Uncharted.
Which is ironic because Uncharted got its stuff from Tomb Raider, the original one. It all came around.
They're very similar games, guys. They're
in the same genre. That's all it is.
Tomb Raider is a lot more brutal than Uncharted ever was.
It's that Nathan Drake is an idiot, and that's what it is. I don't know. It's just
it's like if Uncharted would, if their movies, you know, like let's exclude Indiana Jones, they would Uncharted would be PG-13. Tomb Raiders are like there's a difference there.
That's what it is. Uncharted's a little sillier. It has its serious moments.
Yeah.
But I think Tomb Raider's a little more intense and a little more. I think it treats you more like an adult. And
it does.
I feel like I'm playing like an adult game without like the. Obviously, it's very violent, but I don't need like it doesn't have like the. Like I hate games that are gratuitous for the sake of being gratuitous, and like they'll throw in fucking. I just cursed, but they'll throw in F-bombs.
You've been cursing the whole night, dude.
Yeah, where have you been?
No, what I'm saying, like they'll say certain things just for the hell of it. Like I hate that.
No, but the thing is,
I don't think Tomb Raider is one of those games.
No, it's not. The thing is, I think the violence in that game sticks out more just because it's not gratuitous. It's used right, you know, and that's where it feels more visceral.
Right.
But yeah, it's a great game. You know, it's definitely, if you're gonna bring back any game, that's definitely one to bring back. So I agree. As far as what I'm playing, I haven't started yet. I'm gonna play Strider. Watch out for that review, people. And,
all right.
And a certain sneaking thieving game, which I'm not going to mention. And I'm also playing Shin Megami Tensei 4 and Tomb Raider. I'm playing a lot of shit this week. Usually I only come on one game. I got a lot of shit going on. I'm like Giuseppe now. I'm playing 5 fucking games, everybody.
A sneaking thieving game?
Yeah, I'm playing that.
Just sidetrack for a second. When we had our meeting last night and we were just all saying goodbye, and Giuseppe, after talking for like 3 hours about new stuff, he's like, "Okay, guys, I need to go because I need to do a raid." I'm like, "This guy doesn't sleep."
Yeah, he doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
Giuseppe's a fucking vampire. He's an Italian vampire.
Well, I just assume that he's just submerged in like a video game news like cocoon, and he just kind of absorbs.
No, he is. He actually is.
The Matrix. He's tapped into the Matrix. You know?
This is amazing.
Oh man. Ryan, what are you playing?
I only really played Last of Us Left Behind, but I also was replaying Season 1 of The Walking Dead on Steam, because I clearly didn't get enough.
Wait, you played it on the Vita, now you're playing it on Steam?
Yeah, I didn't. No, I played it originally on 360, and I'm playing it on Steam now.
Who's playing it on Vita?
Diana.
Oh, Diana.
Oh, okay. You're both going for punishment. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't get enough emotional torment from Left Behind, so
yeah, seriously.
More, so, but that's it. I haven't been playing anything else.
I'm indie snobbing it up and doing jazz punk,
of course,
because I'm hearing good things about it. And I did start the second episode of A Wolf Among Us, and then I went and got pizza, and then totally forgot I had left the Xbox on.
Domino's?
So,
oh, damn it, Ryan!
Episode 162 of the ShockCast is brought to you by Domino's.
As soon as he said pizza, I thought Domino's.
For the finest cardboard tasting pizza, we only go to Domino's.
It's about the cheesy bread. That's the game breaker right there. The cheesy bread.
Yes, also the headset breaker.
Yeah, no, you just had to go there, Tony. You had to go there.
I had to.
What are you playing this week, Dave?
Yeah, what you
I played.
I can guess. Final Fantasy
11.
Well, that was the last one.
Star Trek Online, because
yes.
there's a new event called Captain Kirk's anniversary where he punches the dude dressed up like the lizard.
Final Fantasy.
The Gorn.
I'm playing
the Gorn.
Final Fantasy 12, hoping for HD.
And he's rewatching Season 6 of The Next Generation.
Because you're not a big fan of Deep Space Nine, but...
I love Deep Space Nine. What are you kidding? That is the best.
I got your back, man. I got your back, Dave.
No, I played a little bit of Dust Force, the games that George mentioned, and Lego Lord of the Rings, which I have to finish.
Fucking Dust Force, man. That game is nuts.
It's hard, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, I don't know how to end the ShockCast because we're all kind of here, you know?
Yeah. So that's it. We're done. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. Hopefully you'll see us live again, people.
Yeah.
And
that went well.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You want to just say goodbye to everyone? You want to do that? You want me to do it? George, Joel, Ryan.
The cake is a lie. The cake is a lie, George.
That's not right.
All right.
I had a birthday.
Everybody has beards now.
All right, I'm George Jimenez. I'll see you all next week.
George Jimenez.
All right, guys. See you next week. Peace out.
All right. Good night.
Later, love.